Hello students, welcome back. In the last session we were discussing about event listeners. In today's session we will continue our discussion of event listeners. In the last session we have discussed event listener interfaces, that is action listener and focus listener. In today's session we will go through one more interface, that is the key listener interface. As we know, the listener interfaces provides us the way to handle the events. So key listener interface can be used to handle key events which are generated by the keyboard. This key listener interface defines three methods. These three methods are key pressed, key released, and one more, that is key typed. Key press method and key release methods are invoked when the key is pressed and released. When we press a key on the keyboard, the key pressed event is generated, and when you release it, then automatically key released event is generated. Whereas key typed method is invoked when a character has been entered. When we enter some character on the keyboard, say I entered A, B, C or any other character, printable character generally, in that case key typed event is generated. Again, typed means even in case of key typed, key press and key release are also generated. So first key press is generated, then released and typed event. Okay, so these are three important methods which are part of key listener interface. Whenever we want to handle a key event in the program, then we have to have a key listener class. We have to create a listener class which inherits this key listener interface, and that listener class should provide implementation for these methods: key pressed, key released and key typed. If a user presses and releases the key A on the keyboard, alphabet A, three events are generated in sequence, as I have said. First the key pressed, then it will generate actually key typed, and lastly it will generate key released. If a user presses and releases home key on the keyboard, you can even see a home key. In case of home key, only two events are generated. The events are key pressed and key released. In case of home key or any other special keys, key typed event is not generated, because typed event is generated in case of the characters which are displayed on the screen, like alphabets, the numbers and others. But for other control keys or special keys, key typed is not generated, only key pressed and released. General form of these events is given here: public void key pressed, which takes key event object as an argument, then key released and key typed. So these are three important events. Let us go through an example to understand how those events works and how we can use a key listener interface. Okay, in this example program, what we will do is we will create an applet screen, and on the applet screen, if user presses any characters, those characters will be directly printed. Like if user presses A will be displayed. If he presses again B will also be displayed, and C will be displayed. And there is a status bar at the down bottom corner of an applet. It is already available. In this status bar also we will display a message, say when a key is pressed, we will display key pressed. If when a key is released, we will display key released, like that. So this program we will create. So let's start to write the applet program, we will be using the Notepad++. Okay, Notepad is opened. Okay, this is my earlier program. What I'll do is instead of typing the complete program again, I'll just copy and paste the skeleton of this program, so that will take less time. So what I'll do, create a new file and just copy the earlier program, and I'll make modifications in the same program now. I'll just remove the earlier code so that it is clear. I'll just keep the skeleton of the program. Okay. Okay, so this is only the skeleton of a program. Now we will add the actual code. I'll just change the name of the program as well. I'll make this as key demo. Okay, so this is an applet program. We have three import statements here: java.applet, java.awt, java.awt.event. We have already discussed about these three import statements. Now, as I have said, we need to create an interface, and our interface only contains an applet, so there is no other buttons and all in the interface. So inside the init, what exactly we have to do is we have to handle a key event, and the key event has to be handled on the applet screen. Okay, so we need to first create a listener class which handles the key event. So this is our listener class my listener implements. Now this is not focus listener, we want to handle key event, so it will be key listener. Okay, so my class my listener implements key listener. As this my listener is implementing key listener or inheriting key listener, which is an interface, all the three methods of key listener should be redeclared here. The methods of key listeners are public void key pressed. So methods, okay, should be small. Key pressed, this takes an object of class, that is key event class. Key event, I'll say KE1. Okay, so this is one method which we have redefined. Same way other two needs to be redefined. Public void key released key event KE2. Okay, then the third method of that interface, public void key typed. Key typed, again it takes an argument of event, key event KE3. Okay, all the three methods of key listener have been redefined here in our listener class. Okay, and this is compulsory, is it? Okay, after this, as we know, we have to register a key listener on the component. So here we want to handle key events on the window itself. I said the applet screen, so we have to register that on the applet screen directly here by using add key listener. Okay, when I say add key listener, I am registering this on the applet screen itself, because key demo is inheriting applet. Okay, so this is like registering it on the applet screen, and to this we need to pass a listener class object. So listener class object, here it is, new my listener. Okay, so this is done. So we also have an HTML code in this file. I'll just change this code is equals to our class name. The class name here it is key demo. Okay, the coding we have included. Still if you look at in the key press, key release and key type, we have added nothing. But what I want to do is whenever a key is pressed on the keyboard, that key should be printed on the applet screen. For that, which of these three events I should handle? Key pressed, key released or key typed? As we know, when I print printable characters ABC, key typed event is called. Again, when you press a printable characters like ABC or any other printable characters, even key pressed, key released and key typed, all the three are called. But here I don't want to handle all the three because I want to print the character, that's it. So I will be only using the method that is key typed here. I want to print it on the applet screen itself. Now how to print it on the applet screen? If I want to print something on the applet screen, how I can print it? I can print on the label by adding a label on my applet screen. I can create a label, we have seen in the last example. You can create a label and you can print anything you want on the label. But I don't want to print on the label now. I want to print on the applet screen. And you can directly print on the applet screen by using a method that is, you have studied this in the last semester. The method is public void paint method. Paint method can be used to print something or display something on the applet. So I'll use even that paint method here. So I'll use paint method. This is that has to be outside this my listener class. So public void paint. Paint method takes one argument, that is graphics object, graphics G. And by using this object of class graphics, you can print anything on the applet screen. Okay, so graphics paint is also declared. What I'll do is I'll declare one variable here in the class. The variable says string variable. I'll declare that is string of MSG, message, and initially I'll keep it as blank. And whenever a key typed event is generated, there I'll just assign the key value which is entered to the message. So message plus is equals to whatever the content of message is there. To that content we are concatenating the content, that is ke3 dot get key char. Okay, so this is one important method, get key char of key event class. Get key char simply provides you the key which has been typed. Suppose if I type A, this get key char will return the character A. If you type B, it will return a character B. If you type C, it will return character C. If you type 1, it will return character 1. So that character which has been typed on the keyboard, we are taking it and we are storing it in MSG. And once you store that character in MSG, you just have to call the paint method. How to call a paint method? You can simply say repaint. Repaint will automatically call a paint method again. And from the paint method, what we will do is we will print that character by using g.draw string. Draw string, you have studied this method draw string, which takes 3 arguments. First is the message which you want to print, which is stored in MSG variable, comma, x and y coordinates. So I'll specify x and y coordinates as 10, comma 10. Okay, so that character will be displayed on the applet screen. Okay, let us execute and verify the output. I'll save this. Saved. Okay, I'll save it in D. The name is key demo .java and save it. Now to compile and execute, we have to open CMD. Okay, CMD is opened. Okay, now I'll move to D where I have saved my program, and I'll compile it. Java C key demo .java. Okay, it is getting compiled. We have to wait for some time to get it compiled. Okay, it has been compiled successfully. There are no errors. So directly we can execute it by using applet weaver, IEWER weaver, the same file. So I'll say key demo.java. Okay, so it has displayed. You can see this is our applet, and this is the status bar of applet, and this is our applet body or applet screen. So if I press something on the keyboard, let's say I'm pressing a character A on the keyboard, what will happen? Okay, let me press a character. Okay, you can see the character A has been displayed. If I press any other character, those characters you can see are directly displayed on the screen. The size of the character is small, so you can see hello I have printed, then the space, this is a program to demonstrate key listener. Okay, or key events. We have handled key event here. So this is how key event can be handled. Whatever you type on the keyboard on the applet screen, that is directly gets displayed on the screen. Okay, if you look at this, we have used a listener class which is implementing key listener, and all the three methods of key listener, that is pressed, released and key type. Actually out of these three methods we have used only one method, that is key typed. These two methods, key pressed and key released, are not used, means no code has been added into it. But then too we have to declare these methods. If I remove declaration of this method, what will happen you can see. I'll just remove the declaration of one of that event, one of that method, and if I try to compile it again, okay, you can see it is displaying an error saying that my listener is not abstract and does not override abstract method key released. Key released has not been overridden in our class, it is saying, and this is as per the definition of a interface. The class my listener is implementing an interface. Key listener is it is an interface, and as per definition the class which inherits an interface should override all the methods of that particular interface, and that is the reason the methods of key listener needs to be overridden here. So we have to redefine all the methods of the key listener, and that is the reason we have redefined even key pressed and key released. Even though those methods are not at all used in the program, but we have to redefine it, otherwise it will generate an error message. Okay, from inside these methods also, if you want to do something, you can do it like I said. I can display some status message. I'll say show status. In the status bar, I'll say key pressed. Key pressed. So whenever I press a key, it will display key pressed. And from inside the released, I'll say key released. Okay, even this will be displayed now in the status bar, not on the applet screen though. Let us compile it. Compiled. Okay, so this is our output screen, and suppose if I press A, you can see it is displaying A, and also key released is displayed in the status bar down here. If I press any key, say I am pressing a key M, when I press it, you can see key pressed is displayed, and when I release it, key released is displayed in the status bar. Say I am pressing a key, this time I'll press a special key, say I'll press a insert key. Now you can see key pressed is displayed. When I release the insert key, key release is displayed, but nothing is printed because this is not a printable key. Okay, if I press 1, 1 will be displayed. Okay, so that is not visible now, it is outside the bound. Okay, so this is how we can handle the key events in the program. Okay. Okay, that's it in today's session. We will stop here. We'll continue our discussion of the listener in the next session as well. Thank you.